Greetings, everyone. Here I am out in the wilds of Puna again, in the misty rain. Yes, I had been working in the studio lately, working on the studio, however you want to put it. And of course, lighting, sound, everything is better in there, but I just had a hankering to come on out here and sit in the rain. It hadn't rained much for days and days. We have had several days of fog again. Probably hear it in my throat. I get fogged quite bad. It was a time when I was considering buying a sulfur dioxide detector, SO2 meter, to level the atmosphere, measure the level of the atmosphere. Well, when I looked at them and saw the bottom end weight wasn't cheap, it was going to really cost me. I dropped that idea. In time I realized that I'm a walking SO2 detector. It seems I can tell you when there's sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere around here quite early. Anyhow, for that purpose, much cheaper. I decided instead of trying to read the gases, that I would instead read the rain, because the rain would indicate how much acidity there was in the atmosphere, and litmus is cheap and easy. So I started reading rainfall now and then. I checked the rain this morning and I was correct. We have a 6.5. That's ordinarily a good trade wind rainfall here coming off the Pacific. It's a 7. Yes, it's neutral water, but it's 6.5 at the moment. That's not terrible. Yeah. Well, it's what I call Chicago normal. Yeah, if you live in a major city, that's probably the pH of your rainfall almost every time it comes. But there was, when the vent down there in Leilani was going, one of my associates 5 miles from here, he was picking up a 4.5 during the lays. That's when the volcanic the lava hit the sea, exploded and produced steam, Pele's hair, and hydrochloric acid. Yeah, he ended up with glass wool in his catchment water, which they use in the house, and there was a 4.5 pH in the water. That's red wine. Yeah, it's pretty acidic. The main reason I was inclined to come on out here and sit in the rain with my portable camera is that yesterday was the Valentines Day Puna Garden Club meeting up on the rim of the volcano. And, it was interesting. Well, most things around here are interesting. We didn't have too many attendees, but we had at least one new person. Brent was there. He's deeply involved in political lobbying with cannabis laws and things here. So he gave some report on he was recently back from Honolulu addressing our leaders over the nature of their proposed laws. He wasn't particularly happy. Most of what I guess he had dealt with was this caregiver law, that if you are growing plants, cannabis, for other patients, you're a caregiver, then how many plants can the caregiver grow for how many patients? Of course, Sean, who is like completely no regulation. It's corn. Forget it. That's what they got into it, and not into the argument back and forth over how many plants. It should be unlimited. Well, we'll go for 99. It should be unlimited. That's funny. I wished had brought the camera. I hadn't. Decided I wasn't feeling complex enough yesterday morning to walk and chew gum at the same time. So I decided to leave the camera behind me. They probably wouldn't have started that discussion had I had the camera out anyway. I believe we'll have Brent here. Perhaps live, if I can get things all together with that. Discussing everything he knows about what's going on over there in Honolulu. You could see the guy wasn't happy. Apparently, any laws that allowed for changes that allowed for liberalization included, 10 more felonies attached, or also complaints about every bill had money provided for a ratification. Getting rid of the plant is not the point. Well, Greg, he had brought this up to me personally before, and then he brought it up again at breakfast, and it was the idea of having these AAS All-American Seed Award Gardens here. That I guess they will sponsor these things, and of course he has his eyes on a spot out front over here on my place, right up on the road where it's deep soil and there's nothing else going on, other than frogs. Well, I'm all in favor of these, test gardens. I guess there's a certain amount of stuff like the seed that gets donated for it. That's cool. I'm not into any more work, though. That was straight out. Don't give me any more work, So we'll see where that goes. Because it looks like, if that happens, this is going to be one of the locations. Greg visualizes one up in Volcano and then one down in Hilo and so on. This is very cool. It's all great ideas. Some cinder cones had established since last week inside the caldera there at Heli Ma'u. It's where the eject had been coming out. There's some small black cones of cinders. The eject is mostly in the form of gas and steam, stuff like that. You could see smoke coming up. Couldn't really see much for any kind of fire. As far as breakfast was concerned, they didn't have any papayas. They were also seemed noticeably short on staff up there. But on the other hand, they seemed like they were also short on patrons. This place was, again, quite empty. And then I started thinking about it. And, let's see. If I'm going to take my honey on Valentine's Day outings, right, we got the beachfront bed and breakfasts, coconut palms and all that stuff. Or maybe it's a jungle treehouse. Right? Yeah, something cool. Romantic getaways. Hey baby, I'm going to take you to the rim of an active volcano. Let's see if a damn thing blows in the night. I guess it's not the spot on Valentine's Day. Probably it, because then Ellen commented, they didn't have any red fruit out, like strawberries, for Valentine's Day. I said, yeah, well, it was a little short on papayas, too, but yeah, strawberries, okay. Well, she wouldn't actually notice that, because Ella does not really care for strawberries, and I guess she knows they usually always show up on Valentine's Day on the vase. I didn't notice the lack, personally, but I'm eating my food. I did a lot of listening, a lot of eating and listening. I didn't have too much to say. And, well, of course, can't resist that. Good bacon, man. It's good bacon. That Portuguese sausage was just the right amount of spice. I shouldn't be eating that pig stuff, but I can't resist. They do it well, so I ate some of it. And sure enough, last night, left foot started hurting me in the night. No, not intense, but if you're a person who is susceptible to gout attacks, you will probably know what I mean. You can feel the beginning of the onset. It ain't normal when it starts, And so, now in my case, I have some blue anti-inflammatory pills around, pretty strong stuff, indomethacin it's called, that if I hit it just right, so I had to get up and take one of those. Anyway, and it worked. My ankle feels okay this morning, but I started thinking about that, boy. Having meetings here in Puna on the rim of, Kilauea overlooking Mau, where it's the most active area usually. The volcano is the producer of all soil here. There is no other place that it comes from, I mean, other than you throwing your trash out to rot in the field, but, the islands are made of lava, and it comes from volcanoes, and so gardeners who would be to honor the soils, having breakfast at the rim of the volcanoes, seems kind of ceremonial, Well, then I started thinking about back when. My back when here ain't that far back, but things change fast. When we used to be able to drive all the way around the rim of the volcano, at one point in time, and those seems quite a long time ago now. Anyway, it was very common in those days, pull off, take a look down the hole there, and there'd be offerings. There still are in places some offerings, but they could be pretty extensive. They'd be. I was always sort of interested, amused. Well, we want to put it with the pints of whiskey, right? We had like a couple of shots in the bottom, and often wondered about that. Thinking, well, they leave that there and try to keep the volcano calm so that, if Pele's got a little bit of liquor, nice stuff, then that can't be. My days as a traveling musician, I seen enough barroom brawls, thank you. And so liquor don't really necessarily calm anyone down. So that's probably not it. I started thinking, I wonder if that was, sort of traditional Alcoholics Anonymous prayer or something, it's like giving what was most precious to you to the volcano, and walking away, right? Showing strength within your weakness. And I don't know. Someone out there who knows more about those bottles we used to see there on the rim of the caldera, can fill me in. But another thing was common, though, was offerings of food, and of course rice and lau and pork association, with Paley and pigs, and so pork. But then, things changed. Of course, the volcano got pretty active, destroyed the road. Gracie's here. And then the Rangers got tired, cleaning up stuff. Yeah, I guess they'd find, whole pigs over there left as offerings, and they said, okay, enough's enough, no more of this stuff. Yeah, so yes, I don't really see it anymore. But anyhow, so I'm sitting there honoring the soil produced from the volcano, while I'm eating bacon. I'm going, wow, if we meet up here every Friday and I end up that I can't resist bacon, I'll be taking something for my sore ankles almost every Saturday. Maybe, I wonder if it works, that leaving bacon on my plate on the rim of the volcano every Friday works as an offering. Huh? What do you think, Gracie? Gracie don't care. She don't even like bacon, do you? She says, I like fish. Give me mice. Give me fish. Yeah. Gracie's been a little absent from the videos. Sorry about that. Because working in the studio over there inside, she hadn't been as interested as... I put a special chair out here just for Gracie today. Yep. I just figured if I did that, she'd show up. Yeah, so leaving my bacon at the rim of the volcano, it ain't quite like leaving a whole pig, but everything's symbolic anyway. Might be better from my ankles that I did such a thing. And otherwise, I guess that was about it when it come to the garden club. I thought Greg's AAS idea was good if we had people and energy for it. This rain is good. I'm glad it is pushing sulfur out of the air. So, as for the rest of the day, it was a pretty full breakfast. Well, it was Valentines Day, and I had already planned to take Ellen out for Japanese food. So, I made a midday meal out of some avocados that had come down from a seedling tree here. Quality of them was, flesh-wise, quite good. Oily, nice, no fiber. Kind of a big pit, and the worst thing, I guess, they shelled out pretty easy. Taste was great. I made a big old bucket of guacamole out of it. It'd come up out of compost. I do believe there's this old tree on the other side of the fence that has similar-looking, round, West Indian-looking avocados. That then one day I had a tree with similar-looking fruit show up in my yard. I think that's how it got there. We went out and had some Japanese food for dinner, with sushi, and some fried oysters. Good time was had. So, aloha, you all. Gracie says goodbye, right, Gracie?